Welcome to my channel, where your adventure into the future starts right now. Step into a vibrant universe filled with groundbreaking technology, breathtaking alien landscapes, and exhilarating sci-fi narratives that challenge your imagination. From daring explorations of distant galaxies to haunting journeys through dystopian societies, we uncover the most captivating stories and innovative ideas that will shape the world of tomorrow. Subscribe today and join us on an incredible intergalactic voyage that promises to inspire and thrill. The galaxy stretched endlessly across the universe, and in the cold expanse of space, one thing was clear: power ruled above all. The civilizations that inhabited these distant stars had long learned the harsh lesson that survival depended on strength, and those with the mightiest fleets, the most advanced technologies, and the most ruthless leaders were the ones who dominated. One such civilization had learned this lesson better than most: the Valkyrie, a race of towering, war-hardened aliens whose empire stretched across hundreds of star systems. They had spent millennia conquering weaker species, forcing them into submission, and extracting tribute in exchange for protection. The Valkyrie were known for their terrifying power. With their colossal warships, unbreakable armor, and devastating weapons, they had carved a path of destruction through the stars, obliterating civilizations that dared to resist them. But what made the Valkyrie particularly feared was not just their superior technology, but their arrogance. To them, any species weaker than their own was simply a resource to be exploited. They viewed other life forms as inferior, destined to serve them, and the concept of rebellion was anathema to their philosophy. The Valkyrie had conquered, and they had been rewarded with power and wealth beyond measure. For centuries, they had demanded tribute from countless civilizations, extracting valuable resources, technology, and even people from the worlds they had enslaved. Those who failed to meet the Valkyrie's demands were obliterated in a show of force that sent a clear message to the galaxy: submit or die. No one had ever dared to challenge the Valkyrie. No one had ever defied them and lived to tell the tale. And then came Earth. Humanity, a relatively young species in the grand scheme of galactic history, had spent most of its existence on its home planet, Earth. For centuries, they had been content with their small corner of the universe, unaware of the far-flung empires that ruled the stars. They had sent probes into space, sent a handful of astronauts beyond their planet's atmosphere, and even launched their first ventures into deep space. But despite their technological progress, humanity was still a far cry from the other advanced civilizations that had already mastered interstellar travel. It was in this moment of relative isolation that the Valkyrie first took notice of Earth. As humanity began to develop spacefaring technologies and expand their reach, the Valkyrie saw a perfect opportunity to extend their empire. The humans were a primitive species by galactic standards, still struggling to master faster-than-light travel, still learning the basics of galactic diplomacy, and still grappling with their own internal conflicts. The Valkyrie considered Earth to be an insignificant, undeveloped planet with little to offer. But, as with all species they encountered, the Valkyrie's policy was simple: demand tribute. If the humans were foolish enough to defy them, they would be crushed. When the Valkyrie arrived in Earth's solar system, they made their demands clear. Their warships, massive and imposing, appeared in orbit, blotting out the stars, their presence a dark shadow over the Earth. Humanity's governments, taken aback by the sudden appearance of these massive ships, scrambled to respond. But they were no match for the Valkyrie's overwhelming firepower. The humans attempted to communicate, to plead for mercy, but the Valkyrie's response was as cold and ruthless as their reputation. Tribute is required. Your compliance is non-negotiable. Fail, and your world will be destroyed. The Valkyrie commander's voice crackled through the transmission. The message was simple, direct, and sent in every language known to humankind. The Valkyrie demanded vast amounts of resources, technology, and even human labor as tribute in exchange for sparing Earth. Their message echoed across the planet, sending shockwaves through the global community. Panic spread throughout humanity. Governments were thrown into disarray, unsure of how to respond to such a demand. Some advocated for compliance, believing that offering tribute would be the only way to prevent the annihilation of their world. Others, however, saw the Valkyrie's actions as a direct challenge to human sovereignty, a blatant act of aggression that could not go unchallenged. In the midst of this turmoil, one man stood at the center of a movement that would change the fate of humanity forever. General Marcus Daniels was a decorated military leader with a reputation for unorthodox thinking and unwavering determination. He had seen the worst that war had to offer, and he had always believed that humanity's greatest strength was its resilience. As the Valkyrie's message spread, General Daniels became a vocal opponent of surrender. He believed that humanity could not allow itself to bow to this alien race, that the human spirit could not be broken by threats. His calls for defiance gained widespread support, and soon a growing resistance movement was formed. Humanity's governments, though initially divided, were gradually swayed by the general's message. Daniels and his supporters argued that Earth's survival depended on standing up to the Valkyrie, not cowering before them. The idea of submitting to an alien race that had shown nothing but contempt for human life was unacceptable. The message of defiance was clear. Earth would not kneel to the demands of any conqueror. As word of the resistance spread, the people of Earth began to unite. Scientists, engineers, and military leaders from around the world began working together, pooling their knowledge and resources. Humanity's best minds turned their attention to one singular goal: to develop the technology and strategies that could defend their planet and defeat the Valkyrie. The unity of purpose that emerged in the face of this existential threat was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. The Valkyrie had underestimated humanity, and they would soon learn the true cost of that mistake. General Daniels, leading the charge, authorized a crash program to develop advanced weaponry, reverse engineer the alien technology that had been recovered from previous encounters, and develop new tactics that would give humanity a fighting chance. The most ambitious project was the development of a new fleet of warships capable of engaging the Valkyrie head-on. These ships would be equipped with the most advanced weaponry humanity could devise, including energy weapons capable of piercing the Valkyrie's seemingly impenetrable shields. Months passed, and Earth's technological progress accelerated at an astonishing rate. Humanity's engineers worked day and night, forging new alliances and leveraging every resource at their disposal. The Valkyrie, meanwhile, grew impatient. They had demanded tribute, and they expected it to be delivered without delay. They did not believe that the humans could mount a serious defense. They believed that the human race would buckle under the weight of their threat. When the deadline came and passed without the tribute being delivered, the Valkyrie responded as they always had. They began their attack, unleashing devastating waves of energy blasts and sending their warships to lay waste to Earth's major cities. The human military fought back with all their might, but their efforts were futile against the overwhelming power of the Valkyrie's forces. It seemed as though humanity's defiance would be short-lived. But the humans had been preparing for this moment. They had not been idle. As the Valkyrie unleashed their fury on Earth, the first wave of humanity's new warships emerged from their hidden bases. These ships, built with the latest advancements in human technology and incorporating alien tech that had been reverse engineered, were a testament to humanity's ingenuity and resolve. The ships engaged the Valkyrie fleet with a ferocity that took the invaders by surprise. The first battle between the Valkyrie and humanity was nothing short of cataclysmic. The Valkyrie, accustomed to overwhelming their enemies with sheer force, found themselves facing a resistance unlike anything they had ever encountered. Human fighters, agile and strategic, darted around the massive Valkyrie ships, using hit-and-run tactics to exploit weaknesses in their armor. The energy weapons on humanity's new warships pierced the Valkyrie's shields, and the enemy's once impenetrable vessels began to crumble under the relentless onslaught. The Valkyrie were stunned. For the first time in their history, they were losing a battle. The sheer audacity of humanity's resistance, their ability to turn the tide against an overwhelmingly powerful foe, left the invaders reeling. They had underestimated the human spirit, and they were now paying the price. General Daniels, commanding from the front, drove his forces forward with relentless determination. Each victory brought a new wave of hope to the people of Earth, and the Valkyrie began to realize that this was not a war they would win easily. As the battles raged across space, humanity's forces continued to push back the Valkyrie invaders. The alien fleet, once so confident in their superiority, was now in full retreat. The Valkyrie's leadership, realizing that their grip on Earth was slipping, made one final desperate attempt to crush the human resistance. But they were too late. Humanity's warships, now fully operational and expertly coordinated, launched a final devastating strike against the Valkyrie flagship. The battle was fierce, but in the end, humanity emerged victorious. The Valkyrie flagship, once a symbol of the invaders' might, was destroyed in a massive explosion that sent shockwaves through the remaining Valkyrie fleet. The invaders, shattered and broken, were forced to retreat, their dreams of subjugating Earth dashed forever. Earth had not only survived the Valkyrie's attack, but had utterly annihilated their forces. The Valkyrie had come to demand tribute, but instead, they had been humbled and driven from Earth's solar system. Humanity, once considered weak and insignificant by the galaxy's most powerful species, had shown that it would not bow to any conqueror. The message sent by Earth's victory was clear: humanity would never again be subjugated, and any alien species that dared to challenge them would face annihilation. The Valkyrie's defeat was a turning point in galactic history. For the first time, a species had risen up and defeated one of the most feared empires in the galaxy. Humanity's response to the Valkyrie's demands of tribute had not been submission, it had been annihilation. The galaxy, once a place where the strong preyed upon the weak, was forever changed by the rise of humanity's defiance. In the aftermath of the victory, humanity stood united, not just as a planet, but as a symbol of hope to the galaxy. They had proved that even the most powerful invaders could be defeated when the human spirit was determined. The legacy of that victory would live on, and Earth's place in the stars would be forever secured. No longer would humanity be the prey. They had become the hunters,